Texas Governor Greg Abbott has taken a major step against Biden's border crisis. He has created the Texas Tactical Border Force. They are going to have some very good resources available to them to help stop the tragedy that is happening in Texas right now. Check out this clip from his press conference earlier today, and I'm going to give you some constitutional background as to what he has the power to do to stop what Biden has allowed.
Today we are announcing even more to respond to Joe Biden's reckless open border policies. Today we are deploying a new National Guard unit. It's called the Texas Tactical Border Force. Right now, as we're speaking, the Texas National Guard is loading Black Hawk helicopters and C-130s, deploying specially trained National Guard members for the Texas Tactical Border Force. They will be deployed to hot spots along the border to intercept, to repel, and to turn back migrants who are trying to enter Texas illegally. We've seen some examples of the National Guard having done this already that we have now turned into an official operation. If you go back to last December before Christmas, there was a long line of migrants trying to get into and actually getting into El Paso. They were lined up in long lines of getting into El Paso. And we deployed a unit somewhat like this. This was a precursor of today's announcement. And what that unit did is they built massive miles of concertina wire border barrier that in 24 hours stopped the influx going into El Paso, Texas, and it has remained effective since that time. In addition to this deployment today, we're working on laws this session that I hope will pass later on this month that will give me and the state of Texas even more tools to do an even better job of securing our border. One is to make it a felony to illegally enter the state of Texas from Mexico. That felony will entitle us to be able to do one of two things: either to arrest these people and jail them for a felony, or alternatively to return them back to Mexico. We will also make it a felony for anybody who's operating or involved in any way in a stash house. And we will make it a 10-year minimum jail sentence for people who are smuggling in the state of Texas. Now, with regard to smuggling, one thing that we've always been dealing with are either cartel members or the gangs who work in conjunction with the cartel members in the state of Texas smuggling people. We've seen a dramatic increase in average everyday Texans involved in the smuggling people, including an employee of a district attorney's office here in the state of Texas. That's reprehensible, and we want to shut it down. Any Texan or anybody in the state of Texas caught smuggling illegal immigrants will be spending a minimum of 10 years behind bars in the state of Texas.
And there's mixed opinions from conservatives on Abbott, but he's doing what he has to do to protect his state. Let me read the United States Constitution to you and show you, just to educate you for people that counter your argument on exactly why he has precedent to do what he is doing. Governor Abbott, that is. This is Article 4, Section 4. And if you can't read this, I'm going to explain it really well. This is really valuable info. The United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion. This is the role of the federal government. Protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. That's Article 4, Section 4, U.S. Constitution. Biden is not protecting the states. The federal government is failing to protect the states from the southern border crisis. So this is what Article 1, Section 10 says that states have the ability to do if the federal government is failing. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state or with a foreign power, or engage in war unless actually invaded or in such imminent danger as will not admit of delay. So there's a state power unless actually invaded. So we have Governor Abbott completely following the law regarding this. Governor Abbott is doing what he has to do. I applaud him for that, and we'll see how effective this force is. Or if, as we get closer, this will be really interesting, as we get closer to the election, will Biden actually change these policies whatsoever? Because a lot of Americans on the left, in the center, on the right are upset about these policies. They are not okay with having resources overran, not having an increased population that's not paying an increase in taxes. It's not fair to any American citizens. So in my opinion, good job, Governor Abbott, and we will see what happens next. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe/follow button. We'll be bringing you more congressional news, state news, what the states are doing to push back against the Biden agenda, and just keep you informed in general. We'll hope you're doing well. We'll talk to you soon.